Hello everyone, my name is Marah, and today's case is about Branson Perry, who was 21 years old when he went missing from Skidmore, Missouri in April of 2001. And just a quick reminder before I get started, that I always try to do the best research and get the most accurate information I can for every single case that I cover. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's case. Branson Kane Perry was born on February 24th of 1981. He was raised in Skidmore, Missouri, and in 1999 he graduated from Nodaway Holt High School. After Branson graduated high school, he worked many odd jobs. He had been employed by a roofing company and by a traveling petting zoo. Branson suffered from tachycardia, which is a condition that makes your heart race excessively. Branson was a weightlifter and has a black belt in Hapkido. He enjoyed being outside and he was well liked in the community. And in 2001, Branson was living with his dad, whose name is Bob Perry. His mom's name is Rebecca Kleino, and his parents had recently been divorced. On April 7th of 2001, Branson went to his neighbor, whose name is Jason Byerman's home. While he was there, Jason drugged Branson. This is when Jason inappropriately took advantage of Branson. After this incident, Branson confessed to his dad about what had happened when he was at Jason's house. He told his dad that he felt upset and really sad because he had been taken advantage of. Bob said that he did know that Branson was homosexual and that he suspected that this wasn't the first time Branson had had relations with a man. Bob also said he was very angry with Jason for taking advantage of his son. So, 4 days later, on April 11th of 2001, Branson invited his friend Jenna over to his house. Because Bob had been in the hospital, and they planned on cleaning up the house because he was going to be discharged that day. On this day, there also were two unnamed men that were at the house working on Bob's car because it needed a new alternator. So it said around 3 p.m., Branson tells Jenna that he's going to go put the jumper cables back in the shed. This shed is said to be adjacent to their home. But after Branson walked off, that was the last time he has ever been seen. The next day, on April 12th of 2001, Branson's grandmother Joanne stops over at his house. When she arrives, she sees that no one is home and the house was left unlocked. She found this to be strange, so she continued to try to call the house over the next few days, but she never gets an answer. This is when she decides to call his mom, Rebecca, to see if she has talked to him or if she has seen him. She finds out that Rebecca has not seen or heard from Branson either. And Bob actually had to stay in the hospital longer than they had originally planned, so it was many days later that he was finally discharged from the hospital. This is when his parents decided to file a missing persons report. They did this on April 17th of 2001. And search parties were organized by the Nodaway County Police. They covered a 15-mile radius of Branson's home. When they first searched Branson's property, they were not able to find the jumper cables. But 2 weeks later, when they checked the shed again, they reappeared. And over the next month and a half, over 100 people were interviewed. In Jenna's interview, she admitted to law enforcement that Branson had been experimenting with marijuana and amphetamines. A family member also mentioned that Branson had a bottle of Valium on him the day that he went missing. They also questioned all of the people that Branson knew from his drug use, but they all passed polygraphs. At this point, there was also rumors going around that Branson owed drug dealers money. Bob initially told authorities that he thought Branson maybe went to Kansas City with some friends. And since he didn't have a working vehicle, he guessed that maybe Branson hitchhiked there. On April 10th of 2003, Jack Wayne Rogers, a 59-year-old Presbyterian minister and Boy Scout leader, was arrested on charges of first-degree assault and practicing medicine without a license. While investigators were going through Jack's personal belongings, they found child pornography on his computer as well as evidence of various posts describing the graphic torture and assault of multiple men. Among these posts was a first-hand account of Jack picking up a blonde male hitchhiker, where he said he assaulted, tortured, mutilated, and murdered him. In the online post, it was claimed that the man's body was buried in a remote area of the Ozarks. Jack denied ever seeing Branson or knowing him. and he said that the post made was fabricated and purely fantasy. Law enforcement, however, suspected the man in question was Branson. While they searched Jack's property, they found a turtle claw necklace resembling one of Branson's was discovered in one of his vehicles. In April of 2004, Jack was convicted and sentenced to 17 years in prison for assault and 7 years for performing illegal surgery, as well as 30 years for child pornography charges, which would run concurrent with the former 2 charges. And at his sentencing, Rebecca went and she begged for him to reveal where Branson was. But Jack continued to deny that he had anything to do with Branson's disappearance. His earliest release date is October 30th of 2028, when he will be 83 years old. After attending the sentencing, Branson's mother stated she no longer felt that he was responsible for her son's disappearance. Sadly, in 2004, Bob passed away. And in 2010, Rebecca offered a $20,000 reward for information leading to Branson's whereabouts. But sadly, in 2011, Rebecca passed away after a year-long battle with melanoma. On August 14th of 2021, the Nodaway County Sheriff announced that a suspect had been identified in Branson's case, but more evidence needed to be collected before they could make an arrest. So I want to hear your opinion. What do you think happened on this day to Branson? When I was researching this, I just thought it was kind of odd that, he told his friend Jenna that he was going to go walk and do this really quick, and she was under the assumption that he was going to be right back. I think if it were me personally and I was waiting for my friend to come back because they said they were just going to go put something in the shed, I would have been more concerned, I guess, when he didn't return right after that, but maybe she thought he went somewhere else. I guess I don't really know exactly what her thought process was. Maybe there was more to it than just that she just went home and didn't worry about it. But who do you think is responsible for Branson's disappearance? I feel like there's so many different factors in all this, and there were so many different people that it could have been, and also he just disappeared so quickly. But thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you'll comment, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye. Branson Perry was 21 years old when he went missing on April 11th of 2001 from Skidmore, Missouri. He is described as a Caucasian male with blonde hair and blue eyes. He stood 5'9" and was 155 pounds. Branson was last seen at home by his friend on April 11th of 2001 at approximately 3 p.m. He told his friend he was putting jumper cables in the shed and would be right back. He has not been seen since. He left behind his van and personal belongings.